Hello again, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about peptides again. Peptides are short chains of amino acids that our body makes, and so we're going to stick to the ones that are naturally occurring peptides. Today we're going to be talking about the 5 most commonly used in my practice. I wouldn't say there's really favorites because everything has a different purpose, but my practice is generally involved with healing. These are peptides that really help with healing in multiple different ways. So first, we're going to talk about MOTS-C. It's a mitochondrial peptide. It's 16 amino acids, so it's quite a small peptide. And it has to do with mitochondrial energy. Mitochondria are actually the energy producers of the body, so anything that influences them to perform better is basically like making your engine more efficient. Glucose is what we utilize to make energy in our body for most of the cells. Our insulin sensitivity is something that's really important as we age. Insulin resistance is what causes type 2 diabetes. But all of us start to get more insulin resistant as we get older. Basically, what MOTS-C does is it increases our exercise capacity. It can help to reduce obesity. It reduces our insulin resistance, so it improves our insulin response. And it also reduces things like osteoporosis, and it blocks the breakdown of bone as well. That is all of what is a problem with aging, is energy, bone, and muscle. Those are all the most important things to aging well, maintaining our muscle mass, reducing bone loss, and improving our metabolic rate. So next we're going to talk about GHK-Cu. So the GHK is the peptide portion, and the Cu is copper. So it's a peptide bound to copper. And how it works is by organizing the restructuring of injured tissue. And so it works on the enzymes involved in tissue remodeling. And so it helps the enzymes that break down damaged proteins. And at the same time, it helps the antiproteases, which keep the wound from breaking down the good tissue. In wounds, in tissue healing, and it primarily works on the dermis and the epidermis. So really the skin. The skin side of healing and scarring is where it works its magic. Next is KPV. So KPV is an anti-inflammatory. It's 3 amino acids, so it's one of the smallest peptides. It's basically a derivative from a larger peptide, which has to do with healing as well, but it's the better portion of the peptide. It's anti-inflammatory, it reduces scarring, and it reduces also the discoloration in scarring, which the longer peptide doesn't do. It also reduces pain in that process, and it's more for organization of the healing of the tissue. It's kind of a more organized process when the tissues are healing. So it's faster because it's more organized. And it protects the body also against damage from UV radiation. So it's an important peptide in a lot of ways, but the main effect that we use it for is the anti-inflammatory and the healing properties. And so combined with other peptides, this can be very useful in many ways in gut healing, in wound healing, and in skin products. Now we're going to be talking about TB500. And TB500 works, we know this is one of the Wolverine combination. It works by improving healing. But how does it do that? It works on the actin, which is the structural components of the cell. It improves cellular movement, which when cells can move, they can heal faster. And it increases angiogenesis. So it increases the blood vessel development in an area. It also improves or increases nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide opens up blood vessels, And so that works on the heart, the brain, and so we get better function there. And it also opens up the blood flow in areas that need healing. Two mechanisms that it works is actin sequestration, which again is the structural components of the cell, and then the gene expression of the cell. So the DNA, how it expresses itself to improve the healing process. Now we're going to talk about BPC 157. This is probably one of the most used peptides, probably the most well recognized by many of you. And this is a peptide that is derived originally from the stomach. When they isolated it, they figured out that this was the peptide that caused the stomach to heal faster than it could be broken down by the harsh acid environment in the stomach. What it does, it increases repair and healing speed. And it does that also by decreasing inflammation in the area. There's an oral form, which is an arginate salt, that prevents it from being broken down in the stomach acid when you take it orally. And this can be combined with either KVP or with TB500 for improved healing in the gut itself. That's one of the uses that I found to be most incredible. When my wife had a serious reaction and ended up in the ICU, she needed to heal her gut. And I used a combination of BPC and KVP in oral form. And that was the thing that turned her around in a short amount of time. So that's it. That's the 5 peptides that most people use and want to know some answers about. If you have any questions, comments, other peptides that you want addressed, maybe we can address those in a future video. In the meantime, stay safe, be well, love your family, love yourself, and use peptides.